More Democracy 2020 coverage. A Greenwood man makes a discovery about the legality of putting political signs in your yard. The homeowner found a law that many Hoosiers may not know about. It keeps homeowner associations from regulating political signs close to Election Day. WRTV's Troy Washington explains the law and its impact on you.
A lot of HOAs may not even realize that this code exists.
Chris Shutley thinks he may have stumbled upon some useful information for homeowners wanting to show their support for political candidates by putting signs outside of their homes.
Scanning through the Indiana code and eventually found it, and I'm glad that I had, and I hope that it helps other people in knowing their rights.
The code keeps homeowner associations from adopting or enforcing rules prohibiting certain types of signs on a homeowner's property from 30 days before an election until 5 days after an election. Shutley only found this out after having his own encounter with his neighborhood's HOA.
Put up election signs. This year I put up an 8.5 by 11 sign in my window. It was around August, and I got an email from the board asking me to remove it. Went back and forth with them on a couple emails, and then eventually I went ahead and removed it.
He waited until October 3rd to put the sign back out, this time armed with knowledge that he says protected his rights. He soon noticed neighbors followed his lead.
I felt like they were just playing a bit of a power trip, and I didn't think that I should allow them to do that since I was protected by Indiana code to have a sign up.
Shutley and his neighbors have since been allowed to keep their signs out without any pushback. Working for you in Greenwood, Troy Washington, WRTV.
Well, that statute applies to signs for and against candidates in either a primary or a general election, signs supporting or opposing a party, and signs urging people to vote for or against a referendum question. A reminder, we have everything you need to know about the election at our website at WRTV.com. We go one-on-one with the candidates who will appear on your ballot. Plus, we have the dates and deadlines that you need to make sure your vote counts. That's at WRTV.com/election2020.
It's been a dry but very overcast day, as you can see from this shot of downtown Indianapolis. This comes after a huge amount of much needed rain fell around a lot of central Indiana last night and into the overnight hours. Meteorologist Kyle Mounts is here. Kyle, what can we expect tonight and into our Thursday morning?
Things are going to be a whole lot calmer tonight, Amanda. Maybe some of that thunder kept you up last night. We picked up right around 1.5 inches of rain officially in Indianapolis. That helped put a big dent in our rainfall deficit. Since September 1st, we still sit more than 2 inches below average for this time of year. But there's that band of about 2 to 5 inches of rainfall that fell just north of I-70 overnight and into this morning. Tonight, we've got a few showers back into portions of Illinois. May see a couple of those clipping western and northwestern portions of Indiana here as we go into the overnight. Most areas will stay dry. We've got those temperatures right around 60 degrees now. Tomorrow's record high, 85. We will talk about how close we'll be to that number in a few minutes.
COVID-19 cases and deaths in Indiana are still high. The Indiana Department of Health reports 1,766 additional cases of the coronavirus. A total of 152,396 Hoosiers have been diagnosed with COVID-19. Of the more than 1.5 million individuals in Indiana to have been tested for the coronavirus since the pandemic began, 9.6% of them have tested positive for the virus. The state confirms 15 additional deaths. 3,790 Hoosiers have died with the coronavirus since March. And again, we are seeing COVID-19 numbers that we have not seen since the spring. WRTV's Stephanie Wade called into the governor's coronavirus briefing today and is continuing to hold state leaders accountable when it comes to your health. She is finding out why the governor is not moving backwards out of stage 5, even as the cases and deaths increase. Stephanie.
Mark and Amanda, good evening. As twice as many Hoosiers are being hospitalized right now for COVID-19 than in June and July, plus more than a third of the counties in our state are in the orange zone right now, which is a concerning level of cases. The question weighing on many people's minds right now is, should we be taking a step back? Should we be adding in more restrictions? The governor addressing that question today, saying he does not intend on doing so and would not say what it would take for him to do that. He says we have the capacity right now to care and treat patients. We have enough PPE, we have enough testing and contact tracing, more so than we did in the beginning of the pandemic, and that we are capable to treat the patients that we're seeing right now. Take a listen.
Stage 5 has got nothing to do with any campaign. This has got to do with safely getting back to school, getting our economy fully open to the extent that it can be safely, and that's happening all over the state of Indiana. What we're learning is these outbreaks are happening at maybe not the wedding, but at the after wedding party reception at someone's house. They're small events. They're picnics in the backyard. They're where we do, as Dr. Box just mentioned, let our guard down.
Now, the governor was also asked if he would be attending Vice President Pence's rally in Fort Wayne tomorrow. He says he will likely be there, but plans on being masked up and taking all the proper safety precautions. Reporting live tonight outside the State House, Stephanie Wade, WRTV.
And the state will now use the Indiana National Guard as well as retired healthcare workers to address outbreaks at nursing homes. More than 2,000 long-term care residents have died, making up nearly 60% of the state's total deaths. The state says after doing surveys, they have learned staffing is one of the greatest challenges at long-term care facilities. The National Guard will help with testing, reporting test results, screening employees, and simple infection control practices. Wednesday's announcement is part of a 5-step plan to combat spread in nursing homes, as well as reduce the impact on local hospitals.
When there's an outbreak in facility, often it starts with the staff, and several of the staff members spread it to each other, and then of course ultimately it could end up spreading in the residents.
The state also plans to hire clinical staff from the healthcare reserve workforce, included retired healthcare workers, to supplement long-term care resources. The goal is to deploy the extra staff starting on November 1st in facilities with positive cases. The state will also provide 2,095,000 masks, 400,000 face shields, and 680,000 gowns.
For the first time in history, a pope has endorsed same-sex civil unions. Pope Francis made that declaration in a documentary titled Francesco, which premiered at the Rome Film Festival. The Associated Press reports in the documentary, the Pope says, quote, "Homosexual people have the right to be in the family. They are children of God," end quote. Pope Francis says a civil union law is needed so gay Catholics are legally covered. WRTV is working to find out what impact this could have here locally. Lawsuits are pending for a teacher and guidance counselor who were fired from Catholic schools in our area for being in a same-sex marriage. Our Megan Sanctorum spoke with their attorney and has more tonight.
It is a big announcement from the Pope, and one that has a local attorney and her 2 clients in same-sex marriages feeling hopeful.
It's very reassuring and also encouraging to my clients and to our law firm as well, that the position that we've taken from the beginning has been validated by the leader of the Catholic Church.
Pope Francis has been quoted as saying community members in same-sex civil unions deserve to be protected and welcome in a family. But attorney Kathleen Delaney says that's not what happened for her clients, a guidance counselor at Roncalli High School and a teacher at Cathedral High School. The Archbishop here in Indianapolis saying the schools must separate from the employees in same-sex marriages or the school would no longer be recognized as Catholic.
The Archbishop of Indianapolis is clearly out of sync with his boss, the Pope in Rome, as well as being out of sync with the majority of Catholics and the majority of Americans as a whole.
She's hoping this will inspire change.
We hope that this will cause the Archbishop to reconsider his very concerted campaign going after members of the gay Catholic community. And we hope that he'll seek to make amends with our clients who were wrongfully terminated because of who they are and to whom they're married.
As of right now, both of her cases are still being reviewed by the courts. Working for you, Megan Sanctorum, WRTV.
A spokesperson for the Archdiocese of Indianapolis says they cannot comment until the Vatican releases a statement. He says nobody there has seen the documentary where the Pope was quoted as supporting same-sex unions.
Tonight, a call for donors for all types of blood. The Red Cross's urgent message for healthy people, why the organization wants you to donate now.
You may not know his name well, but the Pacers' new head coach is ready to start something exciting with the franchise. Coming up in sports, see how experience as an assistant coach has paid off for Nate Bjorkgren's big break in the NBA.
We're getting a break in the rain activity right now, but there is more heavy rain on the way. We could see another 1 to 3 inches over the next 7 days. We'll detail when the heaviest will fall. You're watching WRTV News at 6.
From the station working for you, this is WRTV News at 6, streaming now.
Welcome back. The American Red Cross is asking healthy people of all blood types to donate blood as soon as you can. The Red Cross says they want to ensure there is a strong blood supply for patients as the country gets ready for flu season to intersect with the COVID-19 pandemic. We have a list of blood donation opportunities around central Indiana listed right now in this story on WRTV.com. The Red Cross also urges you to get your flu shot to help avoid a flu epidemic on top of the COVID pandemic.
Temperatures today going in the warming direction. Even though we had the clouds around, numbers are running about 5 to 10 degrees warmer than this time yesterday. And that puts our actual numbers generally in the 50s and 60s. But look at Louisville. 80 degrees, a sign of things that will be coming to central Indiana as a warm front will lift to the north here as we go into the day tomorrow. This evening, our temperatures will hold pretty steady right around 60 degrees. We'll keep the clouds around and just that isolated shower chance not too far away from that sun setting here within the hour at 6:57. As far as the cloud cover as we go into our Thursday, I think we'll start to erode away some of that. See a little more sunshine and brighten things up for a change. Last couple of days have been pretty cloudy here across the Hoosier State, but we'll still have a few of those clouds. Not going to completely get rid of them, but some nice sunshine nonetheless. So break out the sunglasses again, and you may want the shorts to go along with that because temperatures that start at 60 will be in the upper 60s here at 11 a.m. and we'll get right around 80 for that afternoon high. A little breezy into the afternoon. We'll have a south wind about 10 to 15 miles per hour, but not expecting it to be all that gusty for us. Your high temperature 78 in Kokomo, 80 in Frankfort, 78 degrees in Anderson, and we'll see everyone right around 80 degrees. 81 in Rockville Thursday, same for you in Martinsville, Newcastle at 79, and lower 80s around Spencer and Columbus at 81. This is most likely going to be our last 80-degree temperature here of the season because look at what happens. We're making our way to the top of the roller coaster here, but we are going to come crashing down as we go into the upcoming weekend. There's the average high 63, well below average as we go into the weekend and next week. And it will come with a front on Friday with a chance for showers and possibly even a few thunderstorms as we go into the afternoon. Right now, not expecting severe weather. Could have some gusty winds.